A car crash in a small Tennessee town leads to federal charges against a major drug operation.
America, a simple car accident in small town Tennessee just exposed the biggest Mexican cartel operation in U.S. history. Two drug dealers crashed their car in Rockwood, panicked and ran, threw a case of meth behind a building. But here's where it gets wild. That one case led federal agents to 850 kilograms of methamphetamine hidden in a tractor trailer and connections to the top leader of the United Cartels with a $10 million bounty on his head. But get this, when the cartel found out their operation was exposed, they killed their own guy for costing them millions of dollars. Because this story proves that Mexican cartels have industrial scale drug operations running through American communities, and one random car accident in Tennessee connected all the way to terrorist designated cartel leaders in Mexico. This is absolutely insane.
Court documents show two dealers got in that crash and ran from the scene, throwing a case of meth before being caught by police.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story shows exactly how sophisticated these cartel networks are and why Trump's focus on dismantling these criminal organizations is so critical for American communities. Let me break down how this one car accident in small town Tennessee ended up exposing connections to the highest levels of Mexican organized crime.
It's a case that connects Mexican cartel leaders to right here in East Tennessee. The Department of Justice says it all started with a car crash that happened in Rockwood back in 2019.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Rockwood is a small town where everybody knows everybody. Two drug dealers were driving through the town, got into an accident, and instead of staying on the scene like normal people, these guys panicked and ran for obvious reasons.
Guys from Georgia that we arrested was coming from that direction, headed north. They got into the center lane here and struck the southbound vehicle head on.
Rockwood Police Chief Kelly Pittman walked through exactly what happened.
There's a little metal building right here, and that's where I'm assuming he came by here, stashed it in there, and he ran on around, and as you can see, Hardee's just right here.
But here's where it gets interesting. As they were running away, one of them throws a protective case behind a metal building near a Hardee's restaurant. When police find this case, it's filled with methamphetamine. You think, okay, some local drug dealers, but this was just the tip of the iceberg. Now watch how this small town car accident led federal agents all the way to Atlanta, then to the highest levels of the Mexican cartel leadership.
The investigation began years ago after two drug dealers got into a car crash outside of Knoxville, eventually leading federal investigators back to cartel leaders in Mexico.
The investigation began with those two drug dealers. Authorities started using wiretaps and surveillance, and this investigation led them to a man named Eladio Mendoza, who was running a major drug ring out of Atlanta.
Court documents show two dealers got in that crash and ran from the scene, throwing a case of meth before being caught by police. This led to authorities using wiretaps, search warrants, and surveillance.
In early 2020, they were watching Mendoza's operation, and they see one of his people leaving a hotel near Atlanta with the Doritos bag. But it wasn't a snack run for nacho cheese Doritos. When they tested the bag, it had meth and heroin in it.
And in 2020, that same man fled a traffic stop here in Tennessee, leading to a shootout with officers and the discovery of drugs hidden in a tractor trailer.
And here's where it gets really crazy. When Tennessee state troopers tried to pull this guy over, he starts shooting at police with an AK-style rifle. He actually wounded one of the police officers before they shot him. This wasn't some petty drug dealer. This was a soldier in a criminal organization. But wait, it gets much worse. A few weeks later, authorities searched properties connected with Mendoza, and what they found was absolutely staggering.
The investigation that followed would lead to a shootout with law enforcement near the Tennessee-Georgia state line, as well as the discovery of a tractor trailer filled with 1,800 pounds of meth.
Let me put this in perspective. 850 kilograms of meth has a street value of millions and millions of dollars.
The case dates back to a car wreck in the city in 2019. Investigators say two drug suspects tossed a hard case full of meth on the run from police. The evidence led to drug traffickers in Atlanta and then to cartel leaders in Mexico.
They also found more drugs in a bus and in homes connected with this network. We're talking about a sophisticated operation that was moving massive amounts of drugs from Mexico into American communities.
Today, the Justice Department unsealed charges against 3 leaders and 2 high-ranking enforcers. They include cartel boss Juan Jose Farias Alvarez, known as El Abuelo.
This wasn't some small-time time operation. This was an industrial level drug trafficking network connected to Juan Alvarez, the top leader of the United Cartel, a criminal organization that Trump designated as a foreign terrorist organization. Now here's where the story connects with the highest levels of Mexican organized crime and shows the scope that we're dealing with.
Today, the DOJ indicted 3 leaders and 2 high-ranking enforcers of the United Cartels. The U.S. government is offering a reward of up to $10 million for information leading to the arrest of United Cartel's top leader, El Abuelo, or the grandfather, along with multi-million-dollar rewards for the 4 others.
All of these people presumably believed to be in Mexico.
Federal investigators now tracing all of this back to cartel leaders in Mexico. This morning, the U.S. government has announced multi-million-dollar rewards for information leading to the arrest of each of those 5 suspects.
During the investigation, authorities found messages between Mendoza and an associate of Juan Alvarez. The United Cartels control Michoacan, Mexico, and produce massive amounts of methamphetamine. These are terrorist-designated criminal organizations with international reach.
Matthew Gagliotti, the Assistant Attorney General in charge of the department's criminal division, said, quote, "These cases serve as a reminder of the impacts that global cartels can have. The chain started with a violent cartel and ended with law enforcement being shot at in a small town."
Here's something that shows you how these cartels operate and with the level of violence that we're dealing with. After the U.S. seized all these drugs and started arresting people, Mendoza fled back to Mexico. You might think he was safe there, but you're wrong. These cartel leaders killed him because the operation got exposed and cost them millions of dollars. These aren't just drug dealers. These are military-style criminal organizations.
While Pittman tells me this investigation is still going on the federal level, he is proud of the way that he and his officers played a role.
Pretty much, if it comes across the border, it can go anywhere in the United States and can be found anywhere in the United States.
In this case, federal investigators named 5 leaders offering up to $26 million in reward money, leading to the arrest of those men they suspect are all in the country of Mexico.
The United Cartel was recently labeled as a foreign terrorist organization and is now a top target for U.S. law enforcement. This is exactly the kind of aggressive approach we need to dismantle these criminal networks. America, this story shows exactly how sophisticated and dangerous these Mexican cartel operations are in our communities right now. One car accident in small town Tennessee exposed a drug trafficking network that goes all the way to the top levels of Mexican organized crime. From a case of meth thrown behind a Hardee's to 850 kilograms hidden in a tractor trailer to connections with terrorist-designated cartel leaders. The fact that one car accident led to the discovery of 850 kilograms of meth and connections to Juan Alvarez should tell you something about how many other operations are out there that we don't even know about. These cartels have networks throughout America, Atlanta, Tennessee, Georgia, and who knows how many other places. The level of violence is real. A low-level dealer shooting at police with an AK-style rifle and cartel leaders killing their own people when operations get exposed. This is exactly why Trump's focused on these cartels and designating them as terrorist organizations is so important. The $26 million in reward shows we're serious about dismantling these networks, that they're poisoning American communities. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.